Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first cast I've done in forever. Anyway, I had a fun thing go up on Reddit the other day, and someone told me that they had a really interesting game in PvP. I didn't watch it. I don't actually know what happens in the game. I just heard that something funny happens, so I figured to just give it a knock. Let's just have some fun. See if I can't get myself back into doing a little bit of commentary on my own channels. We got WagesOfFear in the southeast. He's the red Protoss player. He's facing off against... Oh, look at that. Another Protoss player in the name of Mistilteinn. Makes me think got a European server game or something like that. You know, not trying to be weird at all. But as anyway, I guess what I'm up to. I know I haven't really put too much stuff up lately, at least as like VOD content. So I had a busy April. I did PAX. We had... some secret stuff I can't talk to you guys about, and some personal stuff that went on. So I didn't really get to make as much content as I wanted to. Now that I've gotten back, I've got this hunger to do work and, I don't know, become productive again. So here you guys go. You can thank the will of the universe for me trying to make a little bit more normal content for you. Now, I'm not going to, like, try to reinvent PvP here. Everybody opens with 2 gateways and then the cyber core. And usually it comes down to whether you want to make adepts or something else. The probes see each other and they're like, oh, cool, sub, dude. Yeah, so we'll be looking to see what kind of tech path these players go for after the cyber core is done. That's just PvP in general. There's not really a whole lot else to go after. We all know Catalyst by now. If you don't really watch a whole lot of StarCraft, Catalyst is your daybreak of this current map pool. It's pretty boring. It's pretty vanilla. It's not really crazy or super unique in any big way. You got some rocks. You got a third base. That's not too far. Otherwise, I would do map analysis. I'm not against it. But here we're going to have the tech come out of these players. WagesOfFear, he's trying to do the old Huck mining denial. We have 2 stalkers coming out from Mistilteinn. Now, this is a pretty normal way to go. You go gateway, 2 stalkers. Usually you try to expand, or you could just keep pumping out stalkers if you scout something weird. From WagesOfFear, we got 2 sentries. Now, this is pretty interesting. Most of the time when you look at pro-European, I mean, I always go back to Europeans. Guys like Showtime, I think about, they go for, like, sentry stalker. This doesn't really give you firepower versus an adept opening, but... pylon block actually on that natural to delay it, and we have a Stargate on the way from Mistilteinn. This doesn't really give you firepower to do stuff like adepts. These sentries are looking for proxies. This is the most aggressive sentry move out I've ever seen, and he's got another one coming in back home as Warp Gate is on the way, waiting to see some tech choice from him. He's gonna get his shield battery. I guess he needs it because his sentry memes are pretty weird. His probe has actually found Mistilteinn's probe, so he's on top of that, and he's basically just saying, I'm going to kill you. Look at this sentry micro noise. So these stalkers from Mistilteinn, he's looking for proxies too. He wants to know what's going on. Now his Stargate is going to finish up, so let's see. What do we got? What's it going to be? What's it going to be? It's an Oracle. Okay, well, I mean, sentries can have some difficulty with Oracles. He's got a Forge on the way and a shield battery in the main. Now, the main base shield battery can actually prevent a lot of damage from Oracles. 1 is not enough to counteract an Oracle, but it can make it much more difficult for a Protoss player to kill your probes. So we'll have to see where exactly he goes with this. He's going to take a ninja base. All right, WagesOfFear. He's a bold boy in the southwest, taking that ninja base. All right, I can't say I see that a whole lot in PvP. We have a Phoenix on the way from Mistilteinn. So he's going to follow up that Oracle with it. He sends a hallucinated Oracle to scout, and it runs into those stalkers. Now, WagesOfFear only has 4 sentries, so he's gonna need to get some real units out or use that forge. Okay, he's got a photon cannon and another shield battery, so really trying to double down on the static defense. But gonna force field in one of the stalkers. Oh my goodness! Wow, all those force fields, 4 force fields, does not get the kill. Okay, well the Oracle's in the main base now. It's got 2 kills, but the shield battery, with the support of the sentry, are going to hold it back. Interesting. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's weird. I guess the shield battery does a better job because the sentry has more shields than a probe. That battery is able to kind of juice it up a little bit more. Stalkers are going to run back. We have more Phoenix coming out. Robotics facility. This is a little bit unusual. The Phoenix, this many Phoenix after the start, because you kind of do it in expecting robotics facility play. Although I will say this. I don't hate the Phoenix play, mostly because his opponent only has light units, and he's going to use, ooh, is that recall? He's recalling probes from the natural over to his hidden base so that he doesn't show that he has it. Now, these Phoenix kill the hallucinated Phoenix, so he knows that he's up against Phoenix. But Phoenix aren't bad against sentries, and it looks like... Wait, he actually hasn't built anything else, has he? Wages of Fear has... He's not actually added anything. He's not even using the Forge. He's just building photon cannons. And sentries? Okay, Oracle's going to commit from Mistilteinn, and he's like, what is going on? Now, these Phoenix are going to run over to the side. We have the Observer coming out to scout. And Mistilteinn, I mean, what he's doing is, like, not exactly normal. I mean, in this situation, normally you want to be making your way up to charge, get Archons and Immortals. But he's just been doing this Phoenix harass, and the Photon Cannon actually kills one of his Phoenix. So that's not really getting a whole lot done. Now, Wages of Fear is looking for the third base. Mistilteinn's not taking that third base yet. He just has his Oracle and his Phoenix out on the map. There we go. There's the +1 attack. There's the Immortal. There's the Twilight Council. And I fully expect to see charge on this bad boy by the time it's over. However, Wages of Fear, he's got this hidden base fully mining on minerals. He's starting a robotics facility. He's getting a +1 attack. Okay, so surely we're going to see him build something else, right? He has just a bunch of sentries he's going to move out on the map with. I can't say I endorse this decision. It's a bit reckless, to say the least. I mean, he doesn't really have a whole lot. And, I mean, these guys got Stalkers and Immortals. These are units meant for offense. These are units meant for defense. He's going to attack with these very slow sentries to see what he can get done. There's no upgrades done on either side. Is he just going to try to waltz in and force field the crap out of him? Looks like it. Okay, so he picks off the weak Stalker. And he doesn't want to lose that sentry. Now, let's not forget these reinforcement sentries actually get picked off by the Phoenix during this. So he's just going to back off. He's like, all right, I don't want to lose my sentries. I'm going to send him home. Maybe he'll run into those Phoenix. The Phoenix to take out the reinforcements. We have a fourth base on the way for Wages of Fear. He's finally got the gas in the southwest face. The sentries find the Phoenix. Just a little bit of poke-a-poke. A little hokey-pokey, hocus-pocus. Lifts up one sentry, kills it, but loses a Phoenix. Now, Phoenix is more expensive than a sentry. I have the Observer. I can see that that's it. It's just sentries. It's sentries all the way down. Now, everything from Mistilteinn seems pretty normal, though. He's got his gateways firing up, a lot of gateways. He needs to get charged on that Twilight, but he's getting the Templar Archives. He's got the Immortal, and needs to move into Zealots. At least, that's what we usually see. Now, I can see how the Force Fields might mess with the Zealot part of that composition. But wouldn't going for, like, Charged Out Archons still kind of work? Because, like, the Archons could just blow through the Force Field since they're massive units, right? Or maybe you'd want to go Blink Stalker Colossus against this. Anyway, we have Gateways finishing up with that Templar Archive. So there will be the option for Archons. We have an Observer moving out. And at the moment, it's just literally sentries, photon cannons, and shield batteries holding everything together for Wages of Fear. So he's dumping all of his gas into sentries, all of his cannons, or excuse me, all of his minerals into, my head's already completely lopped off here, and all of his minerals into photon cannons and shield batteries. Here you go. Here, look at these great balls of fire, blue balls of fire. These are the bad boys that are going to remove the force fields from the equation. The Oracle finally sees the southwest space. Some of these mineral patches are getting kind of low. Of course, he did only recently start mining the gas. But this is it. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. Wages of Fear. He's got as many sentries as there are disco balls in Saturday Night Fever. I've never seen the movie, so honestly, I'm just kind of talking out of my... 8 cannons on the way. 18 sentries. And 81 probes. Oh, and 3 observers. The observers are spread out to kind of let him see everything. You can see most of the lanes. He's got that Phoenix. Now, the Archons. Surely, there's no way around this, right? Like, certainly there's no way that he can beat an army with Archons, with just sentries. Like, this army should just wreck this, no? We have a Warp Prism on the way for Wages of Fear. Maybe we'll see some sentry drops. And these sentries are going to find the Phoenix. Oh, my goodness. Nope, not enough, not enough. He's got +1 attack. His +2 is just now finishing on the sentry. Next is taken in the southeast. I mean, he's got a lot of money to be pumping these sentries off. The Observer sees the army coming. He needs to be cautious. If Immortals get on top of him, It's going to get ugly. Okay, force field's off that side. There are zealots here that are attacking the sentries. He's going to recall out. Well, naturally, there was no way his sentry army was going to be able to fight against that. Your guardian shield's not going to help when you're dealing with immortals and archons. And all you have is sentries. Okay, so charge is on the way from Mistilteinn. I can see why somebody sent this replay. It's literally just sentries. Okay. It's sentries the whole way down. And I think this is the perfect counter. You just build archons, right? Sentry's DPS is not that high. Archons are definitely better than sentries in head-to-head fights, right? Here's the Warp Prism. We got a sentry drop. Is he force fielding probes? He's got a couple kills there. I don't really know how much else. Now, this is a lot of sentries and photon cannons in the back. So the Archons and the Zealots are going to try to move through. We have some hallucinated Colossus, perhaps to draw the shots. These sentries are going to get loaded up, and he's going to head back towards the northwest. Now, the photon cannons with the shield batteries, with the Guardian shield and the sentries, they're actually starting to chew through some of these front Archons. We see them going down. Now, the force field smashing begins. And Mistilteinn is managing to push through the defenses here. That's a lot of sentries, but I mean, there's certainly no way you should be able to just win the game with that. Meanwhile, these sentries inside the main have actually eradicated the entire mineral line. A bunch of zealots are going to get warped in to deal with that. We see those +2 sentries putting in work. He's going to need Fancy Pants Micro. The sentries are starting to die here, though. And these sentries have all been cleaned up. 12 more photon cannons being added to cover up that base. Now, this prism is going to get away. Still has 4 sentries inside of it. It's only 52 workers to 59, so both players taking a bit of an economic hit, and just more and more Archons are going to be added to deal with the sentries that have dropped into the mineral line. Probes are pulled, and uses force fields to keep the probes away and kind of lock them around these mineral patches. So the sentries are really getting a lot of work done here, but there's nothing in the main to defend against this. Wages of Fear. What are you doing? He's got a drop in the northeast. He's got multi-pronged sentry drops. Oh my god. He does have a lot of money to keep warping these things in, huh? But he should lose his warp gates. And look at this Artosis. Look at these. Look at that Artosis and Tasis pylon. Okay, so Mistilteinn's actually out of probes, just about. Look at that one Archon trying to fight against all these sentries on his own. Well, that just happened. But the gateways, they're all dead, right? There needs to be another warp-in if he's gonna... He's rebuilding the cyber core. Oh, he lost the cyber core? Oh, yeah, he can't even make sentries. Oh, he recalled the army to this space. Oh, I see. So Mistilteinn brings the army back. He's like, all right, I've definitely done enough damage, right? I don't know, man. I don't think he's done enough damage. The sentry horde is making its way west. Meanwhile, there's still the drop on the left side that's getting quite a bit of work done. The prism's going to pull back, and Mistilteinn just taps out. Okay. Well, that was anticlimactic. I thought there was going to be a big fight. I guess great big blue balls indeed it was. All right, well, hopefully you guys didn't think that was terrible. That was a pretty funny game. Let me know on Twitter, Nathanias TV. And if you enjoyed this, I've been going through some difficult times lately. So let me know. Because if you guys make me feel good about doing this, then I'll probably want to do more. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I love you dudes. Peace.